Hey everyone, today we're going to be reviewing two sports news websites, ESPN.com and Bleacher Report. Let's start with ESPN. ESPN is laid out in a three-column format with a main navigation bar at the top. In the middle column, the main column, is the latest news stories. So it's sort of like Facebook's news feed. So if you scroll down, you can see the latest sports news articles in chronological order, like that. On the right-hand side of the page, you'll see that the top headlines for the day with links to articles for those, advertisements for upcoming games, and ESPN's Double Truck section, which is its long-form article section. On the left-hand side of the screen, you can actually create your own ESPN account to customize your ESPN.com experience. And so right now I'm not logged in, so it's showing me the suggested teams based on my location, which unfortunately has the Redskins, boo, Virginia Tech, boo, and so on. If I were to log in, you would see my favorite teams like the Baltimore Ravens and so on. Below that, you'll have hot topics for the day, which is sort of trending topics in the sports news world. So right now it's the NBA trade deadline, bracketology for March Madness, and so on. Below that is featured sports, which is usually the sports that are in season, such as basketball. Below that, you'll have information about fantasy leagues, if you're involved in any of the ESPN fantasy leagues, and then ESPN affiliated sites such as 538.com and so on, how to download the ESPN apps, and how to follow ESPN on social media. Going back to the main navigation bar, if you were to hover over any of these tabs for the sports leagues, you can see information, about that sports league. So for the NFL, if I just hovered over NFL, I can see where I can go for the NFL homepage on ESPN, information about the draft and so on, and then also a page for each individual team. So if I was searching for information about the Baltimore Ravens, I can click on the Baltimore Ravens link, go Ravens, and see information about that team. And again, it's still laid out in this three-column format. And at the top, you still have your main navigation bar. And if I was searching for sports information about a sport that isn't on one of these main tabs, I can go to this More button and see pages for more sports, such as tennis and golf and so on. Bleacher Report is laid out similarly to ESPN. Instead of three main columns, there's only one main column, and so and then you have a main navigation bar at the top that deals with each individual sport league. So for NFL, again, if you just hover over it, you can see information about the NFL and then information about each individual team, and that's the same for each sport like that. And then there's more sports, which Bleacher Report's more section actually divides the sports into different categories, which is helpful. But both sites use similar terminology because they're both dealing with the sports leagues, and so they tend to use the same terminology on their website. Scrolling down on Bleacher Report's main column of news information, you can see that you can have the team stream section, which, like ESPN's, you can customize. And I am logged into Bleacher Report, so you are seeing my custom team stream for the Ravens and Orioles and Old Dominion and Florida State, go Noles. And so all the articles in Bleacher Report are customized to my preferences. And what's also interesting about Bleacher Report is they also link out to content that's not part of Bleacher Report. So you have some Bleacher Report articles, and then you have some articles that are from outside of Bleacher Report, such as this article on Steve Smith that's from CSN Mid-Atlantic, which is not a Bleacher Report site, which is a nice, which is an interesting feature, I think. On the right-hand side of the main column, you have the top headlines, just like on ESPN, with links to articles about those top headlines. And below that, any trending news stories. And these are usually articles or videos. And so Bleacher Report is laid out and has most of the same features as ESPN. It's just laid out in a slightly different format than ESPN. But both websites, I think, are easy to find information about whatever sport or team that you're looking for, and they're both easy to use. So thank you.